Imagine waking up one day and realizing you could no longer fully care for yourself. Would you immediately turn to a nursing home, or would you seek out a different, more fulfilling path? Aging is inevitable, but how we navigate it doesn't have to follow a standard one-size-fits-all solution. While nursing homes are often seen as the default choice when independence begins to waver, they're far from the only option. In today's video, we'll explore 6 extraordinary stories of older adults who broke the mold and redefined what aging gracefully truly means. From daring adventurers embracing new hobbies to tech-savvy grandmothers reshaping how they connect with the world, these inspiring individuals prove that independence, purpose, and joy are possible at any age. Whether you're planning for the future or seeking inspiration for a loved one, this video will challenge everything you think you know about growing older. So join us as we uncover why a nursing home might not be your first stop and discover the limitless possibilities that could await you instead. Stay tuned. These life-changing stories are too powerful to miss. Story 1, the independent grandpa. Meet Grandpa Greg, an 85-year-old with a zest for life and an unshakable commitment to staying independent. For as long as anyone can remember, Greg has embraced an active lifestyle. He's the type of person who's up before sunrise for his morning walks, meticulously tending to his beloved garden, and winding down his afternoons with a good book. But as the years went by, Greg's family grew concerned. His health wasn't what it used to be, and they began encouraging him to move into a nursing home where he could receive round-the-clock care. Despite their good intentions, Greg wasn't ready to trade in his vibrant life for the structure of a facility. Greg cherished the small joys of his daily routine, the rhythm of his neighborhood walks, the friendly nods from familiar faces at the local coffee shop, and the cozy familiarity of his home. He understood his physical limitations, but he believed that giving up his home and his independence wasn't the solution. Instead, Greg opted for a different approach. He enlisted a little extra help, a home care worker for occasional visits and check-ins from his family. With this support system in place, he found a way to continue living life on his own terms, proving that independence doesn't have to be sacrificed, even as challenges arise. Greg's story is a powerful reminder that autonomy is a cornerstone of identity, no matter your age. Aging may bring its difficulties, but it doesn't mean surrendering the essence of who you are or the lifestyle you've built. With creativity, determination, and the right kind of support, staying in the place that makes you feel most alive is entirely possible. Grandpa Greg's journey challenges the idea that a nursing home is the inevitable next step. His story shows that with the right mindset and a bit of help, independence is not just a memory, it's a choice, one that empowers us to live life on our own terms. Story 2, the surprising move of a retired teacher. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Beatrice, a retired teacher in her 70s who spent decades shaping young minds in the classroom. As she approached her golden years, Mrs. Beatrice faced an important decision about her future. Unlike many of her peers who chose nursing homes, she decided to take a bold and unconventional step. She moved to a small, vibrant community of retirees, unlike anything she had ever imagined. Initially, her family was skeptical. They worried she was making a mistake by leaving the familiarity of her old neighborhood for an entirely new environment. But just a few months after her move, Mrs. Beatrice's decision proved to be one of the best she had ever made. In her new community, she discovered a group of like-minded individuals who shared her interests and values. She quickly became an integral part of the neighborhood, using her lifelong love of teaching to start knitting classes, a passion she had never fully explored while working full-time. Teaching her fellow residents not only gave her a renewed sense of purpose, but also brought an incredible energy and joy to her life. Mrs. Beatrice was no longer simply passing time. She was thriving. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that aging doesn't have to mean retreating or settling. Instead, it can be a chance to reinvent yourself, find new passions, and surround yourself with a community that understands and uplifts you. Mrs. Beatrice's journey shows that it's never too late to find a place where you can connect, contribute, and build meaningful relationships. For her, moving to this new community wasn't just a change of address, it was a gateway to a new chapter filled with joy, support, and personal growth. She's living proof that the best years of your life could still lie ahead if you're willing to embrace new possibilities. Story 3. The Adventurer in his 90s. Now let me tell you about Mr. Phillips, a spirited 92-year-old who refuses to slow down. While many people his age might settle into a quiet life at home, Mr. Phillips decided that wasn't the path for him. Instead, he embraced his golden years as an adventurer, traveling the world with his daughter and creating memories that most people only dream of. Whether strolling through the romantic streets of Paris, hiking across the picturesque Italian countryside, or uncovering ancient ruins in Greece, Mr. Phillips seized every opportunity to experience the world. But what makes his story even more inspiring is his approach to travel. He didn't choose luxury cruises or prepackaged guided tours. Instead, he opted for an authentic, immersive experience. Staying in small apartments and boutique hotels, Mr. Phillips lived like a true wanderer, connecting with local cultures and savoring life to its fullest. For Mr. Phillips, these adventures weren't about checking items off a bucket list. They were about realizing lifelong dreams that his younger years never afforded him the time to pursue. Now, at 92, he's proving that it's never too late to turn your dreams into reality and that age is no barrier to living fully. Mr. Phillips's story delivers a powerful lesson. Age is just a number. Growing older doesn't mean giving up on adventure, excitement, or the thrill of new experiences. In fact, the later years of life can often bring the freedom and flexibility to explore the world in ways you couldn't before. Mr. Phillips reminds us that it's always possible to seek out challenges, embrace excitement, and create unforgettable memories, no matter how old you are. Whether you're 92 or 32, there's always room for more adventures, if you're bold enough to take that first step. Story 4. The Tech-Savvy Grandma. Let me introduce you to Grandma Helena, an inspiring woman in her 80s who refused to let age define her independence. Though she could no longer care for herself fully, she had no plans of moving into a nursing home. Instead, Grandma Helena turned to technology, embracing tools that many in her generation might find daunting. Determined to stay in her home, she decided to adapt, and with a little guidance from her tech-savvy grandchildren, she did just that. Grandma Helena learned how to use smartphones, tablets, and smart home devices to make her life easier. She set up a voice-controlled system to adjust her lights, lock doors, and even control the thermostat. When she needed assistance, she could easily reach out to family members or doctors with just the touch of a button. But what truly transformed her life was how technology kept her connected to the people she loved. Through video calls, Grandma Helena stayed in touch with her family, watched her great-grandchildren grow up virtually, and even joined family game nights, all from the comfort of her living room. Grandma Helena's story is a powerful reminder of how technology can be empowering. Rather than letting age limit her, she used modern tools to maintain her independence and strengthen her relationships. She showed us all that no matter your age, technology can be a bridge to the world, helping you stay engaged, active, and in control of your life. So, if you've ever hesitated to embrace technology, let Grandma Helena's journey inspire you. It might just be the key to living life on your own terms, no matter how old you are. Story 5. The Gardener Who Never Stopped Growing. Let's talk about Mr. Felix, a passionate gardener who, at 79, faced a challenge many of us dread. His body could no longer keep up with the demands of his once sprawling garden. For years, he had lovingly cultivated a vibrant space filled with flowers, vegetables, and trees, a true labor of love and his greatest pride. As the years went by, the physical demands of maintaining such a large garden began to take a toll. His family started to worry, assuming he might have to give up the hobby that brought him so much joy. But Mr. Felix had no intention of abandoning his passion. Instead, he chose to adapt. Mr. Felix downsized his garden, transforming it into a smaller, more manageable space. He focused on cultivating plants that were easier to care for and better suited to his current abilities. While his new garden was smaller, it was no less beautiful. The simplicity of his new setup brought him a renewed sense of peace and accomplishment. His family was amazed to see how this change allowed him to thrive. The joy and satisfaction he felt while tending to his garden remained as strong as ever. Mr. Felix's story teaches us that aging doesn't have to mean letting go of what we love. Instead, it's an opportunity to adapt and find new ways to enjoy our passions. Whether it's gardening, painting, or any other beloved activity, there's always a way to pursue your interests without overexerting yourself. By embracing a simpler, more sustainable version of his garden, Mr. Felix discovered that sometimes less truly is more. His journey reminds us that aging isn't about giving up. It's about finding new ways to grow and flourish in this next chapter of life. Story 6. The Family Legacy. Now let me tell you about Lucy, an 84-year-old woman who made a decision that many might find surprising. She chose to stay in the home where she had lived for over 50 years. But this wasn't just any house. It was the place where she raised her children, hosted countless family gatherings, and built a lifetime of cherished memories. Despite her age and the challenges that came with it, Lucy couldn't imagine leaving the home that had been the heart of her family for so long. When her children suggested she move to a nursing home, Lucy wasn't ready to say goodbye to the familiar comfort and history embedded in every corner of her home. Instead, Lucy found a way to make it work. She arranged for her family members to check on her regularly, ensuring she had the support she needed without having to leave the place she loved. Her daughter visited weekly, and her grandchildren stopped by after school, filling her home with laughter and warmth. For Lucy, her home wasn't just a building, it was a repository of generations of memories. It gave her a profound sense of security and continuity that no nursing home could replicate. The walls echoed with moments of joy, love, and family bonds, making it clear why staying there meant so much to her. Lucy's story is a powerful reminder that home truly is where the heart is. As we age, the best place for us may not always be somewhere new or unfamiliar, but rather the space filled with the comforts, memories, and love that have shaped our lives. For Lucy, staying in her home was about more than just practicality. It was a way to preserve her family's legacy and maintain the deep sense of belonging that had always been there. It's a beautiful lesson that sometimes the right place for us as we grow older is the very place that has always felt like home. As these 6 incredible stories have shown us, aging doesn't mean giving up on joy, independence, or purpose. Whether it's adapting your lifestyle, embracing new technology, or staying connected with loved ones, there are countless ways to live life on your own terms, no matter your age. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Can you relate to any of these stories, or do you have your own experiences to share? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more inspiring content. Until next time, take care and keep living your best life.